Hello, my lovies. Hello. Welcome back. I know it's been a long time coming. However, the last time we talked was in February around my birthday time, but so much has happened. And I'm happy this year, and I'm back because I'm just, I'm happy. I done lost weight. It's just a lot. Let's see where we're gonna start at. Okay, so February, I did the whole detox with the mental health, the checking and everything. Excuse me. I've been sick. That's another thing, but let's do a recap. So at the February, I told you I was doing them classes. I had their relative class. I wound up passing my tests, and they was talking about the state board. However, I had to stop and be honest with myself. I had to tell my professor, and I had to tell the director of the program, like, listen, doing realtor is not for me. It's just not. Like, I'm the type of female where I would constantly keep pushing myself to do it and to prove to myself and to prove to others. Well, not others, but just really to prove to myself, because I stopped trying to prove stuff to others once I walked into my becoming who I really am. So I had wound up passing my test or whatever, but I was like stressing and struggling because I had to realize, like, it was something to do because it wasn't nothing to do. And my main thing is I was not happy with doing it. Like, I had people that's around me that's into realtor. I'm not. My whole thing is just paying for law school, but manifested, I'm gonna get a full ride, and I am gonna pay some stuff, but I'm gonna manifest, I'm gonna get a full ride, and that's God, period. After that, I wound up taking a step back from that. They said that they understand, and they knew where I was coming from, because again, I just always had to push myself to do stuff, like to be in book work, especially when my son got stuff going on, like when it comes to sports, football, baseball, all that. Like, that's his thing. So when me sitting there doing practice, if I'm not reading the Bible, I also started the Bible, having Bible study, but I'm just like all over the place, so I'm gonna just break it down. So when my son be into sports and stuff, I'm either sitting in my car reading the Bible or just listening to podcasts like Sarah Jake Roberts, Michael Todd, and all of them. And that just makes me feel like I'm in my wholeness, like I'm in my singleness, and I'm just like enjoying it. And I'm not talking about dating or anything, but just really like being in tune with myself and unlearning a lot of triggers and traumas. But if you really get into my makeup, oh my God, I did a really good job, period. Oh yeah, Mark told we had the event. Oh, my teeth was always like that. I'm just so happy. It was the mental health event. We wound up going with another nonprofit. However, I did step down from that nonprofit due to personal reasons. But I mean, at the end of the day, I wish the best for everybody, so that's it. During that process, that was around Holy Week for Easter, I was praying and talking to God about a lot of stuff. Like, I want to remove people out of my life, from my life. I just felt like growing up, I always said I wanted my life a certain way. I wanted my friends a certain way. I just want stuff around me a certain way. I just knew it was a certain way I wanted my life. Now, quote as my mother said, you cannot write anybody out your life. You can't, but you could deal with them accordingly in how you want to deal with them. Let me say that again. You could deal with them accordingly and deal with them with how you want to deal with them. Now with me, I deal with them accordingly, and with that being said, I wish them well. If I see them, hello, how are you? And I keep it moving. Like, we grown. We not in high school. We don't need to fake like we like each other. We don't need to do none of that. In all honesty, protect your peace, protect everything. Like, but I know how to be cordial, so I know how to, oh, hello, how are you, this, that, and then just go ahead with my life. I don't feel nothing about it. This is my song too. It's real toxic, but whatever. And he said, Sharisa, come Monday morning. I want you to come to my office at 9 o'clock in the morning because I have something to talk to you. I have a proposition for you. So I laughed, and then another speaker, I wound up being real cool with him. His name is Mr. Mark. Him and his wife have this nonprofit. Two of them, they are so dope, like, I love them. And he was, before the boss told me that, he was like, Sharisa, after this project that you're doing with the nonprofit, he was like, you're going to step into your purpose, and you're like, you don't understand, you're going to be blessed. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. So fast forward. No, let me rewind it, because when I started my job, I interned there in 2019, and I kept saying like, oh, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna get this job. So I kept applying. March 2020 hit, 2021 hit. So a young lady wound up calling me and her good friends as well. She, the executive assistant. So she called me and she was like, Sharisa, what made you apply for the job? So I was like, well, what job? And she was like, oh, for the paralegal. And I was like, I don't know, I applied for everything. Like, I applied for, she was like, no, she was like, I'm sorry, hold up. So she was like, are you a judge? I was like, no. She was like, are you an attorney? I was like, no, well, not yet. And she was like, are you an assistant attorney? I was like, no, not yet. She was like, I'm sorry, so what are you? I was like, oh, nothing. I just know as much as y'all keep saying my name, again, manifest, as much as y'all keep saying my name, y'all gonna wind up saying, who is this girl? Like, we wanna know who is this girl. And I'm telling you, when I say keep applying, it don't matter how many times they tell you no. Apply. Like, constantly keep applying. You know how many times I got knocked down for so many things that I wanted to do? And you know how many times I turned right back around and did that same thing and wound up getting a position? And then when I got the position, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay here for like 6 or 7 months and I'm out. It's only because now I'm just proving to myself, but in my mind, I literally said, and I had a vision, this is what I want to do. And if you have that vision, that's telling you, God is telling you, okay, you can do it. Now, fast forward, I told my mom that I was going to be a professor. I applied to be a professor at my school for undergrad. I ain't hear nothing back yet, but we're going to speak that to existence, because when I become an attorney, prosecutor, and judge, my resume just gonna be like, oh, she was this and that. I mean, I even said that manifest I was gonna play soccer. Look, undergrad I was playing soccer. Didn't know what I was doing. Just thought the uniform was cute and whatever. Okay, so after that, I wound up starting a job as a paralegal. I came in as a paralegal on the unit that I interned on. I wound up getting hired on that unit. God, right? So after that, I wound up seeing this guy, and he was dressed up. Well, where I work at, you have to be dressed up. So I wound up seeing this guy, and he was dressed up, and I literally said to myself, like, I want his position. I don't know what he do, but I want to do the same thing he do. Like, I want to be where he at, like, interacting with so many people. And when I say he was interacting with so many people, like, it's this training room when you come into my office building, and it was so many people. I mean, author, judges, attorneys, prosecutors, like. And I remember every day just being amazed and just watching him, like, to the point being on the elevator with him. I was like, hello, how are you? He was like, I'm fine, how are you? I was like, I'm fine. And then one day, because I call myself L Huxtable, that's my Instagram name, L_Huxtable, right there. So I remember one day, this is my song. I remember one day I went to Starbucks and the lady was like, what's your name? I was like, L. And he was like, oh, your name L, my name L too. I was like, yeah. Whole time my name's not L, but you know, that's my alias name. So he was like, okay. That I had the opportunity and a chance to ask some questions right there, but my cycle was on and I was not in the mood. Anybody know what a cycle is? It's when your aunt Flo come to town for females. Your aunt Flo come to town and you just like, bruh, like, I just want to get to work and just go home. So fast forward, Monday morning come. I go to his office and I'm like, hey, Mr. Such and Such, how are you? And he was like, Sharice, I'm fine. And he was like, what do you want out of life? And I was like, well, what you mean? He was like, what do you want out of life? Who is Sharisa Palmer? Now, remind you, I just did an interview on a radio show with Miss Faith. That is my girl. And oh my God, her co-host, I love him, and I forgot his name. And I love him. Like, his smile just brightened up the day. He's so dope, and I forgot his name. Oh my God, please, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna put it down below in the description below. And I remember it on the radio. They was like, who is Sharice Palmer? And then I'm trying to figure it out, like, who I am, this and that. I can give you my bio, like, oh, hey, I'm gonna send you this in the email. But if you ask me who am I, it's just like. And then they realized now, I remember saying to them on the radio channel, saying to the young man, like, I'm just trying to figure out life. Like, I know where I want to be and I know where I want to go. And I know I want to be an attorney, prosecutor, and a judge. And I'm a mom first. I'm a God-fearing woman second. But when it comes to my career, this is stuff that I want to do. This is the stuff that I'm going to do. So he said, well, what do you want out this office? And I said, in order for me to own a law firm, I have to know the in and out. I've been to court, but I honestly felt like, and I said this to my coworkers, like, I don't see myself just coming to court every day being a paralegal and not saying nothing and just being quiet. And when they ask about videos and evidence and this and that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I sent it over. But no, I honestly feel like I need to talk to people. I need to say, hello, my name is Sharice Palmer. Or I need people to come to me and say, hello, my name is such and such. I need to be her. That's what I said. I need to be her. And he laughed at me and he said, Sharice, let me tell you something. When I first met you, he said, you are so inquisitive. He said, I admire you. I like everything about you, how you just go for stuff. A simple hello could take you a long way. He said, every time I saw you, it was never a dull moment. He said, your spirits, it was something in you just brighten the world. The crazy part is I done met so many people, so many dope, amazing people last year and this year that been telling me the same thing, like your spirit. Miss Faith even said it, like it was just something about your spirit that's just like walking. And to hear people say that when you going through the stuff that you're going through, but to hear people say it, it's just like, you anointed. God put an anointing on your life. It's something in you that God is trying to make you become the person that you already look like you are. I have so many people come up to me like, are you an attorney? Are you this? Are you in law school? I'm not. No, not yet. And they was like, girl. So it's like, that was it. And then we talking and he said, okay. He said, well, it's a position that I think that would be best for you. He said, just seeing you do something and put a event together within a month. He said, probably was a couple of days. He said, to see you do it, you wasn't under pressure. You didn't do this. You was on it. Look, I need this. He said, I can see you doing that. He said, so I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you, if you know who such and such is, go talk to them. And I was like, wait, I remember seeing him on the elevator. I remember I spoke to him and I always say stuff to him, but I never held the conversation with him briefly. It was always, hello, how are you, this and that. So the next day, I'm like, that same day I went to the guy office who was my boss now, because I wanted to my boss now, and I waited for him for a week. I sat outside his office every day waiting for him. So I met a young man, he's Nigerian, and I remember saying to him, like, what is he like? Is he this? Is he that? And he was like, oh, he's cool, he's real smooth, like, he's tough, but he's a teddy bear, he this and that. So I'm just like, do you think I'm gonna get it? And he was like, yo, you got it, like, don't worry about it. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get it. But I remember hearing my pastor say, like, if you believe a job is yours, your faith should line up with what Jesus already said, like, this is your job. And I didn't tell nobody I was going for the position. Nobody. I finally met the guy and I was like, hey, just give me 5 minutes of your time. I just need 5 minutes of your time, this and that. He said, okay, Sharisa. He said, come to my office Monday morning at 9 o'clock. He said, we could talk. I was at his office at 8 o'clock. Just waiting, because I had to prepare myself, looking at the people that's on the floor, because it was a different department. Like, I was in pre-trials, this is MC, so I'm just like, okay, this is this person, that is that person, okay, all right, this is how he act, this is how he, anyway, fast forward. So we talked. It's like the interview was about everything, like, who am I, my son father, him. He spoke about his family, his children, how he was the first Black Defender Association attorney. It was just so much stuff, like so much stuff. And he was like, I see a lot in you. And he was like, oh, you got to fill this position, you got to do this and that. And everybody kept saying it, because the position of the guy that I met, that was his position, he wound up leaving. So now that position was over, but they didn't put it out to the office yet. So fast forward, I wound up talking to him, and he said, when we got finished talking, he said, let such and such know that you spoke to me. So I said, okay. So when the position came out, it was like, oh, you have to talk to all the interns, first, second, and 3L interns from law school, all the ADAs. You got to do the swearing in, you got to, it was just so much stuff. You had to put stuff together. So the first 4 months is with law school students. The next 4 months after that is with the ADAs coming into the office. So hello, I want to go to law school. This is God, because I'm telling you, because my whole thing is, I need to interact with people. I need to see their experience from law school, and I need to see how everybody went about stuff when it came to law school, because I'm going to law school, period. So before that, I know I'm talking a lot, but so after that, I was like, all right, so I went for the position. So the position came out, and like that 2 days later, the office had a social hour where everybody come down and drink and eat and interact with people. So y'all know me. If y'all been on my channel for long, y'all know me. I like to network. So I'm not going to no social event to just relax. I'm going to a social event because I'm going to network. So I'm there, and I'm just like, my coworkers are like, so how long we gonna be here? I was like, well, I just need a network. I just need like 10 to 20 minutes and then we out. She like, all right. So we go down there. I'm sitting down there. I eat like 2 slices of pizza. So I'm just like, So they was like, who are you looking for? So I was like, I'm just looking for somebody, because it said on the position that you had to be in the office for like a year. I wasn't there for a year. I was only there for like August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months. So I'm like, there she go. So her exact words was, Sharice's on a mission. I got face to face to her and she said, oh, I'm the mission. I was like, yeah, can I have like 5 minutes of your time? So I said, well, I saw the position and said that you have to be there in the office for like a year. I was not in the office for a year. I was only in the office for 7 years. She said, Sharisa, don't worry about it. So I said, okay. So that's that position, right? So then I had other positions lined up where people come to me, I want you to apply for this position. We could work together, this and that. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. They go to the head person and they say, hey, we want Sharisa. She was like, oh no, Sharisa got an interview for this position first and then we could talk about that later. So when they said that, my response, my intake from that was, oh, I got this position. That was my intake. So I'm just like, or whatever. April hit. So I didn't hear nothing. Then I had an interview and then it got postponed. So I'm just like, all right, I'm nervous. Like, I'm not going to get this position, this and that. And then my girlfriend was like, no, Sharisa, like, they got you #1 for the interview. So I said, all right, so I go to the interview. I don't know where this confidence came from. So you remember my last 2 videos, or the first video, I was like, the confidence came when I was interested in this guy, like, oh, you're going to be my husband. This was that same confidence. So when I asked for that confidence to come back, bring it back. So the confidence came back, the interview went well, and they was like, oh, you got to live up to this position, you got to do this and that, you got to do this. So I'm just like, all right, well, whatever. Like, I could do the position. Like, I am me. I'm going to do what I need to do, and then y'all going to be like, oh, she doing a good job. My fault, I'm itching. Not like that, because I'm not dirty. So after that, I was crying at church. I'm sorry. So after that, the last thing I remember saying in that interview was, I don't care, no offense and respectfully, I do not care what shoes y'all say that I had to fill up, but I know who I am, I know my credentials, and I know what I could do. I want the position. It was like, oh, okay. So I was like, it was nice talking to y'all, and then I walked out, and then I left. I'm like, whew. So after that happened, I'm thirsty. After that happened, it was like this. That was April. That was the 2nd week of April. So this is like going to the 3rd week of April. I'm not hearing nothing. I'm like, all right, what's going on? Position was going on the last week of April. So I'm not hearing nothing. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. I went to church and my pastor was like, you got it. Don't worry about it. Now, I didn't tell nobody that I was going to put for this position. I just was like, all right, that's faith. I literally prayed to God. Once I stepped down from the nonprofit, it was just like, my mind wasn't clouded, but my mind was clear. Like, I knew exactly where I was supposed to go. I knew exactly where my life was going. I knew exactly who needed to be in my life. And I'm sitting down at the computer and I literally tell my 2 coworkers, like, so if you got Outlook, you know the noise that it makes. So once it was like, ding, I was like, and all I saw was, good morning, Sharisa. Congratulations. Once I saw congratulations, I said, oh, it is over. I looked at her like, I got the position. I start screaming. I was like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry. And the crazy part is that I did tell one person I was going for the position, and I remember they said to me, it's gonna be too much for you. You don't know what you don't know what you're gonna do. You don't know how to do it. And instead of me getting mad, the only thing I said is, why are you such a Debbie Downer? Like, why are you so like, why are you so negative? Like, instead of you saying good luck, congratulations, you got it, you sitting here telling me I'm not qualified for the position because this is something that you do. I don't like stuff like that. So with that being said, I just asked God to forgive me and remove any ill will thing that was on my tongue, and I just start praying for the person, because it's like, girl, I already started asking him to remove people from my life, and that's what he doing. So if you want to be another person, bye. So fast forward, I got a position. So I went from a cubicle to an office. So I was like, all right, I want to know where I'll be sitting at. So they showed me this space in the office. I had to change from the 14th floor to the 3rd floor. So I went to the 3rd floor and I just was like, I don't like the office. Can I get a paint job? So then I had to think, like, humble yourself, because you don't have to have an office. So I said, you're right. So I start cleaning up. I asked them, can I get a new desk? Can I get a new bookshelf? Sat into my office and whatever, and then my graduation was coming. But I went up to the executive and I was like, oh my God, thank you. Can I hug you? She was like, yeah. She was like, we gonna work together now. She was like, you're gonna work with everybody now. So I always said, if y'all notice in the beginning of the video, I have no problem, and you shouldn't have no problem with sitting at a table of all these top people where you can learn from, because you have a seat at the table. The key is to getting a seat at the table. The key is to being in a room with people where you know that they would not even look down to you or talk to you or just even acknowledge you. So with that being said, we all are students. We all learn every day. Where I was at when I was a paralegal, I didn't change. I'm still the same, but my mindset is only hungry now. It's more hungrier. So I want more. So if I know that I was just at a place where I couldn't even go in rooms with people because you wasn't this type of person, you wasn't an attorney, only for me to skip over all that and to actually get in a room and to actually go to meetings and sit with top people and to actually have meetings start when I'm there, literally saying like, Sharisa, the meeting not start until you get here. We're waiting on you. Having people listen to what I say to bring people in, where I used to always say, oh, I want to sit at the table with this person, I want to sit at the table with that person. Let me tell you, I don't want to sit at nobody's table. I'm making my own table. So when I got this position, I created my own table. I started bringing people up to my table. And I say this so humble and respectfully. Manifest and pray to Jesus, okay? Pray. I mean pray. Have people around you that want the same for you. Have people around you that's going to put you in your place and tell you like, you are wrong. You know you're wrong. So that's that. So I'm in my position now, and I done heard so many people say, I found out March 2nd, I started my position March 9th. So many people came up to me and was like, Sharisa, how long have you been doing this position? So I was like, on record? They was like, yeah. Oh, well, outside of work, I've been doing this all my life. Inside of work, I just started a position. So they was like, Sharisa, serious? I was like, I just started a position. They was like, you are doing a hell of a job. My boss literally came to me and said, Sharisa, come here, let me talk to you. So I said, all right. He was like, you got my bag. He said, you're doing a hell of a job. You don't even understand. He said, when people ask me stuff, he said, you already got the words out your mouth. Oh no, we're going to do this. Everything on the email's going to get sent over to you. They asked me how I feel about the position. I'm happy. Sometimes it's a lot. It's really a lot. Not even getting stuff approved. It's just because normally I'm the one that approve it, and my boss just say like, all right, yeah, I trust you. This position was really learn as you go. Like really learn as you go. I am happy and I am beyond blessed that I got the position. Like I'm really happy. Like I really did cry. That is that. After that, my graduation, I graduated with honors. Criminal justice social science was my associate's. Criminal justice administration was my bachelor's. I got accepted into my master's program, forensic psychology, before I start my law, my JD and PhD degree. I'm going to do a dual degree with them too. The reason why I chose forensic psychology, I think I should hold that for the other video. Yeah, I'm gonna hold that for the other video because I'm just doing like a recap of everything that happened. So that was May. January, March, April, May, June. My sister's 35th birthday. Oh my God, it was 80s and 90s. We had so much fun, and I wound up getting sick. I mean, I was out for a week. I was out cold, and I kept saying I was gonna do a video, but I was gonna do a video. I learned a lot of songs. We on your birthday. What else? So that was that. I had to cancel 2 vacations because I'm sacrificing a lot to get to where I need to be at. Y'all know how I feel about my vacations, but everything happened for a reason. I took my son to a first baseball game because I just wasn't taking him when he was younger. He enjoyed it until he got bored and he was like, Mom, I'm ready to go. So the tickets was because of my job. My job wound up giving me tickets. So shout out to birthday. After that, Bible study. Then way I'm showing you lessons. I love that song. These are the Okay, so I started Bible study. I'm going to hold that for the next video. I started the Bible study. I actually started with one of the elders at church, but they had so many meetings at church, I started to do it by myself. There was different scriptures that I wanted to learn about. I wanted to talk about. My favorite scripture so far is Proverbs 31:25. Another one is Proverbs 7 in the beginning of the Bible. The beginning, because Eve was a hoe. That's just how I feel. This is a little inside joke before I hurry up and go on. So we was doing grow night, and they was talking about one of the young ladies in the Bible, and they said something, and I hollered out, she was Eve, she was Eve, I'm tired of these Eves in the city, like, and they was like, no, she did not just say that, and everybody started laughing. But I'm serious, we all sin, but I got a real problem with Eve, like a whole problem. Listen to hear, listen to understand. If somebody tell you don't do something, don't. It's all about the presents. But that's it. So I'm signing off. I will come back and I will talk about why I chose forensic psychology before I start my daily degree. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share. Bye, lovies.